Hello everybody, welcome back to the NDC. It is me, Forecaster Nate. Today we're going to be going over the next few days' outlooks and what will happen because there's big severe weather events that are going to be going on the next few days in the plains and western Mississippi Valley areas. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and get straight into this. So currently there is on radar quite a bit of storms, not severe storms as of yet, but there is quite a bit of storms, as you can see down here in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri. Though Missouri is more of a flooding risk. And then there's also, if we go over here to the Ohio Valley region, there's also some storms over here. As for your models again, there's going to be some rain that goes on, maybe some severe storms in Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri at around 5 to 6 p.m. These storms in those areas will start to fire up and cause some severe weather. There is not a huge tornado risk, though it is increasing by every hour or two. Okay, that's new. This is new on the model run for today. So we have a EF, so basically where that red little line is, you want that if you want higher end tornadoes. The green bars, the part that separates those green bars, if that red line is on the higher side or just completely above a bar, there is most likely a chance of that category being seen. Now, as there is an EF2 to EF3 risk, I don't think this will be highly accurate. We could see a PDS EF2, but given that it's not in the main rain area, I wouldn't count on it. See, because your curvature's down in here and a lot through, again, more of a hail and wind risk. Though if we look at bulk shear, which is just our wind shear at about 500 millibars, there is quite a bit of wind, about 30-ish knots, which is, I believe, 27 miles an hour. So that could be very decisive. There's also some CAPE, which is very high for today. You're sitting at around 2,000 and 1,500 in some areas to about 2,500 for most unstable. Your mix layer is also at around 2,000 in some areas of the line. Your lapse rate, which is another big requirement for tornadoes, is above the 7.2 mark, which means there's definitely potential on the lapse rate side for some severe storms with tornadoes. So again, as we just keep moving out, these storms will eventually start dying out as we get into the midnight hours. There still could be some pop-up cells as we get over midnight. I could see maybe another severe thunderstorm. I would say our last main risk of severe storms for that area would keep going until about 3 or 4 a.m. Now moving over to tomorrow, which I am going to have to change models real quick to our NAM models, or NAM 3 kilometer, let me rephrase. Tomorrow there is actually, I think, a bigger tornado threat from what I saw. Bigger tornado threat tomorrow, which actually I can go back into HRRR and just go back a few hours. But there was when the last 48-hour model was checked, which is what we're currently on, the 12Z 48-hour, there is, as you can see, some instability from the significant tornado parameter starts spiking up at around 3 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, and at around 5-ish, these cells, around 5 to 6, these cells will start to become tornadic, and at around 6-ish, we should start seeing some tornado threats. Now, considering how dangerous this looks, and there's still an updraft, I think we could see EF2 to EF3 tornado. Maybe not a whole lot of tornadoes, but I think we could see a few intense tornadoes tomorrow, which is why We need to be on the lookout. We most likely will be live the next few days covering this severe weather event. But again, so like there's updraft helicity in these storms, which are these little rectangular, long outlines. Whoa. But as we continue into the hours of tomorrow, around 9 to 10 p.m., we'll start having a little bit of a calm down with it. Again, they'll still be pretty darn intense, but I don't think the main threat will be 100% tornadoes after 10 p.m. We'll most likely transition to a QLCS tornado risk if we still have a tornado risk by that point. But tomorrow I would definitely be on the lookout for high winds, some pretty large hail, and if it happens, a few tornadoes with some being intense. Again, because like you have just such high values of instability and significant tornado parameter. I mean, we can even check back into the 36 hour, which again is about 7 p.m. tomorrow. Your supercell composite's still extremely high in that area, reaching up to 21. Your bulk shear is 30s and 40s still in the majority of the area, which again is super high or not super high, but it's a really good high. Your cape is still in about the 1500 to 2000 range. Again, that's really good for significant tornadoes. It allows them to grow and develop rapidly. Your lapse rate is not as high, but it is hitting the 7 mark in some areas, so I could still see potential for severe storms along that note. And then as it moves more into this area, we could still see some more intensification as that night goes on. Moving into day 3, which is going to be the 6th. The 6th is going to be our big day. So the 6th will be probably the biggest day we're going to have for the next few days. Your significant tornado parameter getting pretty far up here. Again, getting into the 3s with most of these storms. And this actually has gone up a little bit since I last have looked. Your STP, again, getting an EF3 to EF2 risk and potentially even an EF4 risk on the lower side of the scale. Your bulk shear, again, still, this actually is a little bit higher now, almost hitting 50 on that line. With your mixed layer capes at 2000, which is actually a little bit higher than we had today. And then getting just a little bit above 2,000 that same day. Tomorrow, again, or not tomorrow, but on the 6th, I could definitely see, and again, lapse rate's a little bit low, but it's still, again, in some areas getting up to at least 6.5, and this could change over time. Again, I think the main concern on the 6th would be deadly tornadoes. I don't think the 6th is going to be one of those days where it's a false start. No, I do believe we will have strong to intense tornadoes as that day goes on. Potential EF3 risk, potential EF2 risk, definite EF1 risk. Maybe even a definite EF2 risk. Again, this might just be a QLCS, I believe is what they call it, risk, which again, that would actually make it more dangerous due to the fact that QLCS is a line of storms, so it'd be difficult to see. I think, though, it would be possible to see some singular cells over a line of cells. We could see a line of cells, and that does appear possible here. I would not rule out a straight line threat, but do keep in mind that the 6th will be a very intense day. I do not recommend travel in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. If you do have to travel, I suggest doing it early in the morning rather than past noon. Like, I wouldn't even go to 4 p.m. 4 p.m. would be the latest I'd give you to start getting back home and doing your own stuff at home. So that risk is going to continue into, I believe, the next day, so the 7th. We should see a little bit more potential tornado threat. mainly just in the Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana areas, the North Louisiana. Again, there's still a little bit of tornado risk and some showers and severe thunderstorms that could be there. So again, potential risk there too as we get into the 7th. However, though, I've been made aware this morning. Been made aware that for the 11th and 10th, there was a potential tornado risk due to, and this is pretty far out, so it's not 100% confirmed, and we'll wait until probably about the 7th or 8th before we make a video on it fully. But there was a 15% outlook for the 9th, or either the 9th, the 10th, or the 11th. One of those days had a pretty high potential for just some severe storms overall. But again, we'll cover that as we get closer. So your main threats will be the today, tomorrow, and the 6th. Mainly all for tornadoes except for today. Today will be a hail and wind risk specifically. There may be a tornado or two, potentially one being a little bit intense, but I do not expect any major outbreaks today. Potentially tomorrow and potentially the day after will be tornado outbreaks, potentially. And a quick little update here for you guys. They just upgraded today to a 5% tornado risk, so there could be a tornado potential for lower Missouri and northeast Arkansas, though I would not expect much from it. Anyways, guys, that wraps it up for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Here is my outlooks for today, tomorrow, and the day after. And without further ado, thank you guys for watching. Peace.